Welcome to Late Night Chat. Here's your host, Shyzabox.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, ho 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 ho, whoa girl, whoa girl, whoa, ho 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 ho, get out of here. And the horse you rode in on, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one. Oh, sorry, welcome nuns, welcome all. Let us take a sec. How do you get to work? Well, tell you how we get there. Catch the horse. Of course, of course. Sums off. Get out of here, apprentice. Jeez. Anyhow, welcome nuns, welcome all. We have got a fantastic show for you today, and by fantastic, of course, that term is used very loosely. We've got a free show for you today, and you might be saying, like, no thanks, but here it is anyway. And of course, without further ado, we are talking about the one, the only, weird food combinations, and we were thinking to ourselves, as we were sitting around, thinking to ourselves, there's some weird combinations of food that exist out there, and while some of those combinations might appeal to a variety of folks, to others they can sound completely and utterly disgusting, right? You think of, hand-dipped mayonnaise sandwiches. Like, to some people, they would bathe in mayonnaise if they had the opportunity, or the choice, or the option, let's be honest. They would be like, oh boy, mayonnaise, time to lather up. And they would be right at home, in a giant tub or jar of it. But there exist combinations of foods, okay, such as hand-dipped mayonnaise sandwiches that, whilst might be appealing to some, and in that case, obviously, the masses, there might be combinations that are appealing to some and not others. And yeah, like we said, they'll find them completely, just inherently disgusting. So, there is a variety of iterations that you would think of when combinations are involved. Think of things that have happened in the last 10 to 20 years, culinary-wise, that has just completely thrown the entire food fusion combination world on its head, upside down. Which is on his head. Excellent. You have elements that have been taken from different areas and regions and added with elements from, ironically, other areas and regions for those fusion creations. Think of where dishes like chicken and waffles was 10 to 20 years ago. It was non-existent in a lot of locations, in a lot of places. Now, virtually every breakfasty-like joint has a take or a iteration or version of it that they offer to their patrons and guests for a nominal fee of whatever the dish costs, usually inflated an extra buck or two because, restaurants know people are gonna buy that shit, right? Hold on, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We see ones of you have joined us, and we got a chat that came in. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves before we're ready for it. Hold on. Hi. Okay, yes. Hi. All right. Back to the show. We don't want to get behind. We're new at this, the streaming thing, being boomers and all. But, believe you me, as soon as we find out how to do something, you'll wish we didn't. Anyhow, chicken and waffles, okay, for instance. A dish that was created and innovated and devised that left a lot of people flabbergasted and wondering, why is any form or iteration of something like a sweet breakfast waffle combined with a savory chicken tender that is not for breakfast? Okay? The thought behind it was, you know what? Chicken strips are good anytime, unless they're bad ones that suck. Alex, yes, excellent. Rest in peace, everyone who has gone separate ways from this world. It's really unfortunate, and we can only hope that inevitably they're in a better place. But if you're looking for a better place that has chicken and waffles, you can nowadays throw a stone at a breakfast establishment, and like we said, they'll have a iteration, interpretation, or version thereof. So, back in the day, no one would have thought it'd be impossible. You would have, gotten all sorts of crazy looks if you were in a 50s diner, and you want to support, well, there's only one way to support this crazy channel, and it's opening up a separate tab, going to Cash App, and dropping loot and punk rock review. And not the punk rock review that you think. We spell it differently. It's R-O-K. So, much appreciated if you feel like doing that. Otherwise, we totally understand why you wouldn't want to, because that entails work. And if we don't do it ourselves, we wouldn't expect you to do it as well. So, opening a separate tab, going to Cash App, it's a whole nother step. That's why we knew people wouldn't want to do it, and we have ones of shirts for sale. Now, here at this channel, whilst we are the crappiest internet celebrity in existence, okay, because we call dibs, okay, ground floor level, we gets to be, we took it upon ourselves to have ones of shirts available for our higher paying clientele. Now, it's right here. It costs $13,000, and not only is it not worth that in any way, shape, or form, because originally it cost $1 whole, but you probably don't want to blow 13 grand on it, so don't even try and buy it from us. But it is $13,000 if you happen to know someone who is extremely rich and wants to buy a shirt they'll never want to wear for $13,000. So excellent. Can I give you 13 cents for it? No, it's 13 grand. That's the flat rate. Everything here's free except for that shirt. That's 13 grand, non-negotiable. But we can maybe put it on sale for $12.99.99. But, we'll think about that. Right now we're thinking about fusions of foods, and crazy fusions at that. Combinations of foods that were put together that in the realm of food that's put together should have never become known to man, or in existence, or known to exist for man in existence. I don't know. It's the same thing, really, that we just reiterated, but 10 more seconds of content, right? So, you got combinations, chicken and waffles that came out and just took the breakfast realm by storm, and now everyone has their take on it. Everyone loves it. Everyone, has their version of it, breakfast restaurant-wise. And for patrons like ourselves that do like to, tag along uninvited with our friends whenever they're going to eat, and they're like, oh, dude, you're still here? We didn't really want you to come with us. And I'm like, yeah, who's buying me breakfast? And they're like, none of us. I'm like, well, you're going to look pretty awkward with me just mulling around your table. You might want to order me some. So I sit down and stay put. They're like, fuck. And, it just goes from there. But the point is that pizza sushi, well, yeah, that sounds kind of disgusting. But isn't, now, we'll play argument advocate, okay? Pizza sushi technically isn't that a Lunchable, okay? Because they just give you some raw-ass cheese, okay? Granted, the pepperoni's cooked. And then some cold-ass pizza sauce and some cold crackers, right? And you squirt your cold sauce on there, and you put your cold cheese on there. You put your cold pepperoni on there on top of your cold cracker. Then you set it down and you open up your cold dessert cookie they put in there. You're supposed to eat regular food first and then dessert second. Okay, whatever. Live by your own rules. Okay, then you pick your little Lunchable pizza back up. You're like, oh, hold on. You set it back down. You put your straw in the Capri Sun. Forgot. Then you pick your Lunchable back up. You're like, hold on. Put it back down again. Take a sip of the Capri Sun. Ooh. Oh. Tropical punch. I wish it was Ecto Cooler. Different times. That's high C. Anyhow, you pick it up and you eat it. That's technically pizza sushi. So yes, you were right. Pizza sushi, it's technically a Lunchable. In fact, we're the one who said that, so we were right, actually. So, isn't it great for us being right again? Yes, it is. Excellent. We have lots of chats that came in. Let us keep up with them. Hi. Yes, hello, hi. Pacific Cooler. Yes, that sounds like it would have been better than the tropical one as well. Strawberry Kiwi. Excellent. Well, what are you, a connoisseur of Capri Suns? You know, we thought we would be doing a show tonight, but it turns out the real talent's in the audience, as always. I don't know how you guys do it. You come up with iterations and varieties of stuff that, yes, is on the market and absolutely exists, and, you know, lo and behold, boomers like us can't remember it all. Look at you guys go. Huh. You know, who's that? Dolly, hold on, we can't reads. Dylan Drix, fantastic job. Way to float the show. You know, it was already... We were struggling, let's be honest. Hey, everyone knew that out of the gate. But lo and behold, here you come, naming every Capri Sun type known to existence, and it's fantastic. And not only that, it's Lori's birthday. Well, happy birthday, Lori. You know, we were going to be doing a show on weird food combinations, but it's Lori's birthday. So, in honor of Lori's birthday, Lily, that's what we meant to say. They're Lily's. It's Lily's birthday, but sometimes we call her Lori. When we've been, you know, acquaintances with her as long as we have been, we call her Lori. She goes by Lily, but, you know, we just call her L Money, really. So, anyhow, it's L Money's birthday. Lily, and we're talking to you. We were going to do a show tonight. And we started to, really, but that's because, you know, Lily wasn't here yet. L Money takes her time showing up, especially when it's her birthday. It's your right. We were going to do a show on weird food combinations. Now, it's a little late to change the thumbnail because that would take work, Lily, if we're being honest. But what we can do is our favorites from one of the last streams, okay? Now, we don't think they're here right now, so they'll be okay with this. We'll cross them out and we'll put you up on the wall in honor of your birthday. We'll even make you a cake. But it's not a cake you can eat, okay? It's going to be on drywall, Lily. We're not done with the studio yet. We're not going to be baking anything anytime soon. But in honor of your birthday, happy birthday, a cheers to you, and let's destroy everyone else's hopes and dreams of being on the wall. No one wants to be on the wall. Fair enough. Well, you tell that to Rick, Ryan, and JC from the last stream, Lily, because, you know, you're like, it's my birthday. I don't care who they are. And hey, calm down, Lily. We understand. Okay, you guys got to go away because it is Lily's birthday. Now, Lily, this takes real raw talent. We've been doing this for a while, we're not going to lie, but we're going to have to write this in reverse for it to be correct for you. So, if it's not correct, then obviously just know that's our take on it, and it's really awesome of us to do it that way, because we're so hip and cool as boomers like that. So, happy birthday to Lily. Let's double check. Make sure that we're spelling this right. Us boomers can never double check enough. Or we don't double check at all. Sorry, rest of society. Anyhow, looks like it is Lilly. Sure enough. We were right again. Lilly. There you go. Lily, your birthday. But as promised, where's my cake? Okay, hold on, Lily. If we did it all in green, then we would be amateurs. And while we aren't good at what we do, we are the crappiest internet celebrity that there is. So, we are ready for this, Lily. I mean, we weren't. Because L Money, you know, it's funny everyone else calls you L Money too. I didn't know that nickname was so popular. But, L Money, we're thinking to ourselves, we gotta be ready, because it's Lily's birthday. We're like, guarantee you she's gonna want a cake, even if she doesn't ask for one. Because that's the type of person she is. She didn't demand us change the show. She didn't ask for us to stop doing a show on weird food combinations. No one cares about those anyway, really, Lily. We just care about your birthday. So, that's why we're going to give you a cake, because a weird food combination is not a cake. Now, you might be saying to yourself, that doesn't really look like a cake. Well, you know, L Money, it's not done yet. And I understand that it's a little bit back there, but we'll work it out. Just give us a minute, okay? We'll figure it out, okay? We got stuff we're working with, L Money. Just give us a sec, okay? But the point is that we can definitely fix it. Don't worry. Just got to get the rest of Rick out of here. Rick, fuck off. We love you, but you gotta go. It's L Money's birthday. Get out of the way. All right. There you go, Lily. We're getting there. Your cake's almost done. It looks delicious. Remember, you can't eat it. It's on drywall. Yuck. You don't want to eat that, Lily. You remember what happened to Joey on his birthday? Of course, hopefully you don't, because hopefully you didn't go. Like we didn't either. We can only imagine, because Joey's disgusting. Stay away from Joey. Anyhow. You know, Lily, I didn't think we'd be doing art tonight, but apparently that's what all we should have been doing from the get-go. We should have been prepared. That's on us. Sorry about that. But if there's one thing that we know, it's that this is almost done. So give us one sec. You ever had a green cake, Lily? It's mint strawberry. You ever had that? It's not that good, but neither is the show. So, delicious. Oh, well. Yes, we know. There's no candles on top. No. Well, you think we weren't aware of that, Lily? You can't have a birthday without candles. We just knew that we were going to need, yet again, to kind of go out of the element and give you the appropriateness that you deserve. Because you're great, L Money. You know, we've known you for a good bit of a stream now, and if there's one person in the chat box that we really have come to appreciate and enjoy, it's, you know, mainly that Dowdex guy, because he's awesome. He keeps talking. In fact, we got to go back and read all your stuff. Thanks for contributing all those flavors earlier, Dowdex. But you're going to have to take a back seat because it's L Money's birthday. But you knew that coming into this. So, the candle. Right. Yes. Happy birthday. You get 3 candles. And, oh, well, of course you can have a pink flame, L Money, because we don't have any other colors right now. Well, we have black and yellow. The yellow won't show up. You won't see it, Lily. And believe you me, you're going to want your cake to have the candles lit, or else it'll just not look the same. So, there you go. Close enough. Happy birthday, L Money. Yeah, excellent. Well, you better start typing a bunch of shit. Hold on. We'll catch up on the ones of chat that we missed. And, Lily, you better, if you're even still here, damn it, Lily, are you even still here? You better start typing a lot of stuff because you got to float the show now. We're not going to talk about weird food combinations anymore. It's going to piss off our regular ones of viewer. Sorry, Mom. Anyhow, here she is. We told her all day. We're going to be talking about some weird food combos. But we did forget to tell her that it was L Money's birthday. And believe you me, if we had remembered, she would have baked you an entire cake, so that's our bad. It would have been delicious, L Money. We'll have her make it later and we'll eat it. Okay, anyhow. Let's catch up with this, make sure we're not missing anything. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, well, you're welcome. Yes, no, obviously. You know, you only get one birthday a year, usually. Unless you throw yourself a couple, and you tell everyone it's your birthday on an irregular basis so that you hope they give you a lot of gifts. Now, we haven't tried that ourselves, but in thinking about it, it sounds like something we might be able to pull off in one way, shape, or form. Maybe quarterly, we could tell people we're doing a birthday fundraiser drive, right? And we'll say it goes to situations like this where Elmony has a birthday, and she's like, I really wanted a blue cake. Well, you know what? There's a difference, unfortunately, Elmony. We're on a budget here, and that budget is $0. So when we find our spray paint 4, it's backwards, but $1.85 on clearance. Sorry, you get mint strawberry. But if you want a blueberry cake, that's what we're saying. We'll hold like fundraiser drives and stuff. It's like, hey, a blue cake. I don't know. Anyhow, let's catch up on the other ones of chat. Jealous of Lily? Well, dear Drax, we already told you that you were the best one of the show. Jealous of Lily? No, don't be jealous of Lily. I mean, don't get us wrong. We're all jealous of Lily. Lily, we're all jealous of you if we're being honest, but Drill Drax, you've been at this stream. I want to say we've known you longer than Lily. In fact, when we first met Lily, we didn't even know it was her birthday. But after knowing Elmony as long as we have and going through an entire birthday with her as we have, Drill Drax, we were thinking of ourselves like, it was Drill Drax's birthday before too, and we missed it. That's our bad. So, unfortunately, Lily, we know it's your birthday today, but you're going to have to share it with Drill Drax, okay? And by Drill Drax, we haven't said that correctly once this entire time. That's because Drill Drax, none of those letters go together to form a word. And as boomers, we have to read it as we see it. And it looks like Drill Drax has just us. So, let's just call you DX, Drill Drax. And, Lily, you gotta share your birthday, however you view that, whether you wanted to or not. Believe it or not, world doesn't center around you, Lily. Other people run shows too. And the other show tonight is Drill Drax's. So, we gotta give old DX a little shout out too. He'll get a candle. Tell you what, Lily, why don't you guys just share a cake, okay? That way, we don't have to totally not celebrate your birthday cake, but we'll give DX's candle, like over here. Here, DX, it's from before. We'll light it in a minute, okay? There's your candle, all right? Careful, this is a $13,000 shirt. We don't want to ruin it. Or we do, it makes it more valuable. We'll just increase the price, actually. We can do that. Lily, here you go, and DX. Happy birthday to both of you. My candle's not lit. Well, we know, DX. Oh, hold on, we can only hold one can at a time. Trying to, run a show here, okay? And the show is Elmony's birthday. Happy birthday, Elmony, once again. It's great that we could all gather here today to celebrate such a great event. And in hindsight, it really is, unfortunately, that we all missed DX's birthday. But we're so glad to have the opportunity to celebrate it today as well. So DX, Elmony, happy birthday to both of you. We've been working on this for a long time because we knew this was going to happen, actually. Hold on, we're lighting your candle. Hold on, TX. Of course we're lighting your candle. Okay. Excellent. Oh. We've been working on this for a while, and we haven't played it for anyone, so go easy on us, but DX, Elmony, we wrote you a birthday song. Okay, so, hold on. Let me clear it with management real quick, make sure we can play it. Hey, I was on time, I'm doing the show. Some people's birthday, I can sing them a birthday song, right? Yeah, vulgarity to a minimum. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Elmony's birthday. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, say hi. Hey, did you tell DX happy birthday on his birthday? Well, fuck, Mom! You're making me look like an asshole! Damn it. Anyhow, management says it's okay. So, anyhow, we wrote you a happy birthday song, and we're going to play it for you now. So, we haven't had an opportunity to perform this one for anyone, so go easy on us, but we wrote it for you guys, and it's just ironic how it all works out because we knew it was going to happen. It's my birthday, Elmony. My birthday, DX. My birthday, L Money. My birthday, DX. Happy birthday! Excellent. So, sorry again. Like we said, we performed it for a few people behind closed doors, but we hadn't really presented it to you on your, L Money, your birthday, DX. Of course, you're sorry it's belated, but we give the gift of song. When do I get it? Well, you kind of already did, so you can't return it. You can rewind it. Fuck no. Okay, fair enough. But that's what you get, so happy birthday. Excellent. Well, let's check up with these ones of chat that we're missing, because, believe you me, we haven't read them. Hold on. Entertain yourselves. Fucking don't enter more chat. It'll take us a sec. I don't think Lily is here anymore. Oh, damn it, Lily! Well, happy birthday, Lily and DX. Danny! Alright, well, Danny, happy birthday. Of course we knew you were a female. Obviously. Happy birthday, Danny. Lily, you better get back here. Danny's about to eat your cake. And, believe you me, if you're not here to guard it, he can't stop her. We can't stop her. They'll eat it. No, Danny, don't eat that cake. It's drywall. You don't want to eat that. I can share. Well, excellent. Very nice of you. Danny will share with whoever wants some of the cake, but unfortunately, it is drywall, so you're not going to want to eat it. Danny, stop trying to get people to eat drywall. Not cool of you, dude. Do that, obviously. We knew. Let's see. Can I get a downloadable version of the song? Well, you absolutely can if you... it always makes the stuff private. We'll make it unprivate afterwards, and you'll have to go and do the old school, hold something up to it, like when we used to have to make mixtapes back in the day. You would wait on the radio station to play it, and then you hit record on a cassette player. And you get the tail end of the DJ, announcing the, next hit of the day, or the tail end of a commercial, and go straight into the song, and you're like, trying to hit it perfect, but you never do. But you're going to have to do that, Danny, and unfortunately, the downloadable version's going to be pretty crappy quality, because you're going to record it potato style. But believe you me, it'll add to its authenticity. And when people are like, hey, Danny, a lot of people missed your birthday and didn't have the, audacity to even wish you a late happy birthday. But then some crappy internet celebrity, okay, the worst internet celebrity, changed their entire show because L Money left and they need a new point of focus. So it's Danny's birthday, everybody, and because we're blocking the DX, we're going to move over here to block Lily, because obviously Lily didn't care enough to hang around. So there we go. Wouldn't be the first time you ate drywall. Well, that sounds like not a good idea, DX. Not a good idea. But what is a good idea is coming up with some kind of topic, because, we kind of swapped from that weird food combo thing, and it's going to confuse the hell out of a lot of people. So maybe we can talk about weird food combos that you've had at your birthdays. Now, this is going to be conjecture, Danny, because we haven't gone to any of your birthday parties. You kind of didn't invite us. And we're not going to say we feel slighted by that, but, did you invite other people to any birthday over your entire life? Okay, if you answered yes to any of that one question, then how could we not feel slighted, Danny? But, we don't hold a grudge. Except against GameStop. Fuck those guys. GameStop sucks ass. It's not what the show's about, Danny. Show's now about your birthday. And actually the lack of birthday people gave you when they forgot to wish you happy birthday. But obviously we did. Oh, all ones of you just joined us. We're not talking about combos of food anymore. So, you're going to be confused as shit. But I guess we could alleviate that confusion. It's Danny's birthday, and it was Lily's, but she left. Unless Lily's still here, and she's like eating cake from her birthday party. She's like, I gotta tell him I'm still here. He's covering my name. I'm still here. It's me, L Money. We're like, well, L Money, Danny said you left. Danny, you're not just jealous of L Money, right? Oh, wait. Didn't you say you were? Well, we don't need a cat fight here. What we need is to just continue the birthday wishes, and unfortunately, come up with a new show topic because we can't revert back to weird food combos now. Oh, wait, yeah, we can. We were going to talk about weird food combos at birthdays, and that's right, conjecture. Danny, we're guessing once at one of your birthdays you might have had fish sticks wrapped with peanut butter celery. Are we right or are we wrong? If we're right, that sounds disgusting. We're hoping to be wrong on that one, Danny, but teach his own. Teach her own. You know, however you want to view it. If you like peanut butter celery wrapped around a fish stick, so be it. But it sounds disgusting. So we wouldn't eat it, and we would recommend you don't tell anyone else that you eat that either. But it's your birthday, Danny. You eat as much fish stick wrapped peanut butter celery as you want. Or peanut butter celery wrapped fish sticks as you want. However it goes, Danny, however you like to eat it. Yeah, it definitely is disgusting. So it was, in fact, disgusting. Absolutely. Well, you know, you gave it the old college try, Danny, and while it might not have been a successful birthday that year, surely the birthday where you had, what was it, hot tamales layered through chili con queso, thinking it would add a cinnamon kick, and then you put Hershey Kisses in it. Well, it was the candy that was the last straw, Danny. That shit was disgusting. So we heard. I mean, so we guess. I don't know, we weren't there, and maybe that wasn't what you had, but if it was, then obviously, our bad, we're wrong about that. But our conjecture and assumption into something that we could just think up off the top of our head that sounded gross, and let's be honest, Danny, kind of sounded like something you might be interested in trying. So we went out there and ventured to guess that maybe you had a birthday and you had chili con queso with hot tamales and Hershey Kisses in it. Now, whether they got in there by accident or intentionally, we're not pointing fingers, Danny. Anyone's elbow can slip, right? Oh, hot tamales getting closer. Oops, they fell in the chili con queso. Delicious, just how I like it. That's fucking disgusting, Danny. But, you know, like we said, we won't tell anyone your secrets. You know, maybe you never had that. Maybe it's just us overthinking things as usual. We try not to. We're working on it, Danny. You know, we were trying not to overthink the fact that we had missed not only your birthday, but L Money's as well. Luckily, we caught L Money on hers just in time to wish her happy birthday before she fucked off to have a better party with not us. But you know what, Danny? It's fantastic that you were able to stick around because there'd be no show without you, really. Well, it'd be the original show. No, Lily already hijacked it and made us talk about something else. But let's be honest, it was way better than what we had planned, so that's how it goes. Anyhow, let's check in, make sure we don't have any more comment. Nope. Still don't. Excellent. Well, let's talk about other gross combinations. Danny, we're going to lay off you because your menus at your birthday seem a little wonky. But let's talk about combinations of food that people could have at other birthday parties, not yours, Danny. We know that your meals are always delicious. We joke and jest and kid. Danny has delicious meals at her birthday when, well, we wouldn't know, actually. Danny, you know, we joke and jest, but you did never invite us to your birthday, so we're guessing that maybe you had a lunch birthday and maybe dinner's irrelevant to the whole thing. I don't know. Or maybe it was a breakfast get-together. I don't know. For chicken and waffles. Crazy food combination, right? But we're not talking about that, Danny. We've already moved on. And now we're talking about, well, shit, what were we talking about? No, birthdays or something. But we digress. Let's just take a sip of our drink and reminisce on the greatness that was any other live streams that were going on tonight that people caught before this. Any good ones? Someone gonna go. Well, let's move on. Well, don't get us wrong. We're still focused around you, Danny. It is your half birthday after all. Or your late birthday. Either way, you still deserve the rest of the episode. Obviously. But, you know, when Lily was trying to hijack all aspects of your birthday again, Danny. We told her, we're like, hell, money, you gotta lay off Danny. Because, Danny didn't interrupt your birthday. But then she was like, I'm leaving to a better party. And she did. But that's just how it goes. So, let's check this once of chat that came in. That pretty much could save the show. Or, it's going to make the show go on longer. That's actually your bad. Let's see. I think this was a great party. It's better than Lily's. You know what? It's absolutely better than Lily's, and that's because we threw it. And, people might say that the worst place to go, the crappiest internet celebrity that exists, that's us. It's not a fun place to hang out or be at. And we get that. Totally. But the thing is that we make everything else better, right? Here you're getting this. Any other internet celebrity, sky's the limit. It's going to be fantastic. Okay? We call dibs on the ground floor level. Minimal exerted effort and maximum exerted get YouTubes of the money. So, that's the plan. And, believe you me, we call dibs on the ground floor level. So, everything else that you watch is better. Needless to say, let's check this one's of extra comment. Show me how to tie a tie. Well, we can show you how to tie a tie, but it would be in going straight forward and not reversies. So, all right, if that's what you want, you get any old tie, okay? You put it around. Now, length of the tie is going to be essential here, Danny. This is very important. Hold on. Let's make sure we're not getting too ahead of ourselves. Oh, shit, you asked all that stuff before. Well, if we read comments in order, Danny, we'd never get to the end of the story. Because we'd be at the beginning of the book. So we don't know how to read, Danny, apparently. But let's go back to your tie thing. Sure. Length of the tie is going to be essential on this one, okay? If it's a really long tie, then you're going to want your back end to be a little longer, okay? If it's a shorter tie, you're going to want a higher end up here, okay? This tie, for us, we're guessing here. So, you take it. Now, there's a couple ways to do it. And believe you me, some people might not like this way, okay? But let's say it's how our pappy taught us, and our pappy was a pistol. Yep, yeah. He is a pistol. Anyhow, you take it, all right, you lengthen it the appropriate way. Sometimes it takes you 3, 4, 5, 8 times to tie it before you get it right. But the way we do's it is you goes around the little tie part once. You goes around the little tie part twice. Then you come and you punch yourself in the uppercut through the little holes you made. Then, that second little loop-de-loop that you made, you're going to pull out a little bit. You're going to stick that uppercut right down there and kind of adjust it and pull. And before you knows it, you's got yourself most of a tie tied now. You got to adjust it and, fix it, stuff like that, but you're good to go. So, excellent. Learn something new every day, Danny. Learn something new every day. Anyhow, excellent. Now that we've gotten, that was magic. You know what? We'll tell you, Danny, tying a tie is a magical thing. Not only were we able to do it, but we've been able to do it for years. We used to go to a parochial school, Danny. Now, we're not going to say that necessarily didn't set us up for the success that we reap today, but if there's one thing it did do, it's give us attention for a lot of random reasons. And teach us how to tie a tie. So, lo and behold, we could bring all that information to you for your, I guess we'd say, entertainment. On your half birthday, Danny, happy birthday. There's nothing we wouldn't do for you within the confines of what we could do. If we were there, Danny, we'd give you a big block of cheese. Now, not only do we personally not like cheese, but This just always looks like a great prop on camera, so we'd give it to you. One thing we wouldn't do is, well, let's leave some props out of it, Danny. That's just how it goes. Anyhow, another toast to you, Danny, on your half birthday. Excellent. Well, who else has big plans for tonight, huh? Anything super great or cool happening? You're going to go buy a tie now? Well, I don't see why you wouldn't. You don't even have to have a tie. You could use like a very long tube sock to practice with if you wanted to. But, hey, don't get ripped off. You can get ties for super cheap. Okay. Depends on what kind of tie you want and how you want to acquire it. But there's some expensive ones out there, and there's some not as expensive ones out there. And depending on where you shop, you can save yourself a penny or two. Or a large sum of money. So, make your own choice, your own decision, but, Danny, you got money to blow on a tie. You probably got money to blow on a $13,000 shirt. No, don't buy it, Danny. That's a fucking ripoff. You don't want to buy that? No, that's reserved for the rich good streamers that, come snipe us like Asman of the Gold or Angry of the Joe. The rich ones who are like, hell yeah, I'll buy that shirt just because I can. Because, believe you me, Danny, no one wants to buy that shit. It was on clearance for $1. We doctored it up and made it awesome, but, because it's a walking warning to avoid Joey at all costs. Joey's disgusting, Danny. Don't ever invite him to your birthday. We know you didn't invite us, but we hope you didn't invite him either, because believe you me, Joey's disgusting. So, anyhow, 13 cents. Take it or leave it. Oh, we're going to have to leave it. We told you, Danny, whether it's your birthday or not, You drive a hard bargain of trying to make us sell out for an exorbitantly lower amount than what our asking price is. But, at some point, Danny, you're just going to have to accept the rejection that we lay before you. Your 13 cents offer is not accepted, and, We'll consider it. We'll leave it on the table, okay? Who knows? We probably do need that 13 cents. But, Danny, we're going to hold out for the big ones. We're going to hold out for those big bucks. And believe you me, they'll probably never come. So, the shirt might be as good as yours, but, Danny, we're going to have to give it some time. We're holding out. Holding out. Like we said, it's probably as good as yours for the 13 cents. But, I mean, I don't know, Danny. I don't know. It is what it is. Anyhow, let's talk about are you Joey? Oh, God, no. Oh. Danny, I hope you're joking. I hope you're seriously joking. I know you're joking. There's no way you would insult us by calling us Joey. Absolutely not. No. We carry the warning about Joey, and we try and, not only inform individuals and others, but, between you and L Money, you covered up some of the morning chatty coffee crews talk there. As their names, they're going to be pissed at you guys. Next time they're on, they're say, show my name, be like, talk to Danny and L Money. It's their birthday. They wanted to celebrate. They'll be like, that's bullshit. And we'll be like, hell, to top it off, Danny offered us 13 cents for the shirt, and they'll be like, oh! Yeah, I don't know. We're guessing that's what they'd be like. We can't see them, Danny, but we can almost feel their sentiment, and we're guessing they would resent that offer. But that's beside the point, Danny. We digress. Are we Joey? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, we just warn everyone to stay away from Joey. You don't gulp Joey's milk. At all. You saw the shirts, right? I mean, we try and warn everyone. So, stay away from Joey. Bad news. If it's from Joey, it's a no-y. That's the slogan around these parts. Believe you me, if it's from Joey, it's a Noe. You might have been familiar with entities that have caused trouble and wreaked chaos before. And believe you me, Joey would put them all to shame in a plethora of ways. And he's actually, if you do the math, he's actually banned from more places than he's not banned from worldwide. It's disgusting. There's been laws and rules enacted by him at establishments worldwide. In cities and counties, they've passed ordinances to strictly contend with his mere presence of having passed through town. There is so much degeneracy attached to any entailment or apparatus around or pertaining to Joey himself that inevitably just reeks utter destruction and plagues across everything it encounters or interacts with. It's disgusting. He's a freak. Anyhow, let's see these ones of chat we're missing. Yes. That's a smooth smooth lager in that cup. No, not a smooth lager in this cup. We can't tell you exactly what's in there, but believe you me, it's gonna look like urine when we add some more to it. But it comes in bottles like this. Where'd you get that from under the desk? Don't worry about it. Believe you me, it does not smell like pee. Wait a minute. Kind of smells like pee. Hope it's the right bottle. But people watch all sorts of crazy shit on the internet, so make your own assumptions. Serves us right, Danny. We kind of assumed what you had at a couple of your birthday meals, and that chili con queso sounded disgusting. So, if you want to think we drink urine to, whatever, that's fine, whatever. You can't really hurt our reputation, Danny. We're the shittiest celebrities on the internet. Ground floor level, we call dibs. We can mess up every show and apologize for it the next day, and we never change. Always crappy. It's kind of a nice peace of mind to be at, just knowing that we're like the, folks that can always screw up. Be like, hey, sorry about that. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's that guy. Though, just works out. But assume what you want, Danny. You know what they say, when you assume, it's not polite. So, it's Lipton tea. We have a couple iterations and versions of it. We have a peach flavor, too. Here it was. But, sometimes companies are weird with their logos and labels. They'll cite it as an endorsement or us ripping off their product. Or unsolicited affiliation. So we tore the labels off so that they can't bitch about any of that shit. You know what, Danny? If there's something that we don't like, it's crappy companies that come and try and enforce some kind of BS laws pertaining to some aspect of their product or entity in the background of a scene or environment with which they attempt to do some sort of copyright strike or thing like that against. Now, we've never encountered or had that problem with our stuff, but we know others that have, so we take precursory measures. Did we use that word right, Danny? Danny, as you get older and celebrate more birthdays, sometimes you use words wrong. And yes, you could draw attention to it like we did and think we might have used precursory wrong. But at the same time, we probably didn't. So you can just keep moving on when you get to boomerized age and people just accept it. So, Danny, it doesn't matter how we used it. Stop trying to correct us. What we're trying to convey as a point is that, I don't know, we lost train of thought. Doesn't matter. But we're guessing it's your fault that we lost train of thought, Danny. So if you weren't here, we'd have no one to blame. Don't judge my chili con queso. Well, Danny, if we didn't judge your chili con queso, how how would it win a chili con queso cook-off? So, don't be too quick to ask and not to judge, okay? Because there's a chance you'll be like, a week or two from now, like, man, Shyzabox didn't know what they were talking about. Hot tamales and Hershey Kisses and chili con queso is delicious. We'll be like, holy shit, I don't know about that. We'll have to judge it at a competition to see if that's true. So, you know, you might want us to judge it or something. I don't know. Precautionary also works. Well, of course it does. Danny, we knew that you knew how precautionary worked. That's why we wanted to use precursory. That's because, you know, we were thinking of all the P words we could, because you affiliated that with our beverage, and that was a little impolite of you, Danny, if we're being honest. You know, we were watching the movie Little Monsters once when we were younger, and believe you me, we had a fear of someone taking our apple juice and pulling a little jokey, prank on it. Well, for that reason, Danny, we never wore the color yellow, because we thought it was pee. So, you know, Danny, we stopped and got over that later on in life, but when we were young lads, believe you me, we didn't want to have an all-yellow jumpsuit, because we looked like a giant lemon, and we didn't want to be. So, we like the more subtle rustic tones to accommodate our, you know, whoa, we're talking about fashion. You know, that's not what the show's about, Danny. Stop trying to sidetrack us with all this tying ties and talking fashion. That was a while ago. Oh, okay, fair enough. Danny, you know, you can sit here and blame us for segueing into stuff all night, okay? But inevitably, we were trying to talk about food combinations, and you and Lily were like, oh, we've been at the bar. Oh, it's our birthday. Make us a cake. We're like, we don't know how to bake. You're like, spray paint that shit. We're like, calm down, Danny and El Money. You're like, we got kicked out of the bar. Like, well, it's no wonder. We've heard about your birthdays. We haven't been to them because you didn't invite us, Danny. But that's okay, you know. Like we said, we don't hold a grudge, except against GameStop. Fuck those guys. But, you know, we forgave them, Danny, and same way that we didn't hold a grudge against you for not inviting us in the first place, we forgive you for not inviting us as well. Because we weren't even mad at you, Danny. We wouldn't have invited us either, especially if we didn't know us. So, we can see where you were going with that. But, you know, it reminds us of a birthday that we celebrated once for, you know, Lily. You might know her as El Money. And I think you guys had a joint birthday today once. Well, you know, yours was like a belated. But, you know, whatever. That time we celebrated it together. It was a while ago. Earlier in the street. You know, there's a time when we just thought that everything would work out. And it did. And luckily I had written a song and everything preemptively. Months, weeks, months in advance. The first one. And, you know, I performed it with flawless execution. And that's all you have to really take away from tonight, Danny. You don't got to remember about anything else about it. Just the fact that, you know, all these other assholes missed my birthday, but Shyzabox took care of me. I understand I had to go to the worst internet celebrity in existence to get it. But I got my belated happy birthday. And believe you me, Danny, you deserve that belated happy birthday. And Lily originally did too, but, you know, if Lily wanted to go to the better party to begin with, she should have just told us that out of the get-go. Okay? Then again, I think she has something against mint cakes, and maybe she was going to look for that blue paint after all. But I don't know. I guess we might never know. Might never know. No, Danny. We might never know. Anyhow, let's see this one's of chat we missed. Very sorry, I have to go. Danny, you have yourself a great night. Happy belated birthday to you. We are sorry we missed it. Do never apologize for heading out and doing what you have to do. We'll just keep celebrating your birthday without you, and that's okay. You know, your name will be up on this board immortalized until it gets covered up. But believe you me, you have a fantastic rest of your night, day, weekend, and or week coming up, month, year, decade. We'll see you, or we won't see you when we see you. We know we'll be getting that invitation for your birthday coming up pretty soon. Or not. But we can always have a party for you here anytime. You just say the word. We'll stop the show like that. Because we sell out in a heartbeat, Danny. We sell out in a heartbeat. So that you don't have to. You have a great night. We'll continue reading the ones of comment and continue from there. But we pay you no attention from now. You go now. You can touch us on your way out. Okay, that's enough. Don't get us wrong, Danny. We let viewers touch us on occasion, but, we still gotta take care of ourselves as celebrities, albeit crappy ones at that. Enough's enough. Okay. See you later. Excellent. We will read the rest of the ones that comment. Very sorry to have to go. Yes, we knew that you were leaving because we read that part. I'll be here for the next time live for sure. Well, boy, are you going to regret that. The next one, while we have it completely, totally planned out, it's not going to be as good as this one, Danny. We can't celebrate your belated birthday every time. But, hell, maybe we can. Probably make for a better show, Danny. If there's one thing that we would look forward to every year, aside from, Christmas, Easter, time off of not working, we think to ourselves, is it Danny's birthday yet? She always throws the most awesome parties and comes up with the craziest food concoctions. But that time she put Hershey Kisses in that chili con queso. What the fuck is she now? That's whatever. Anyhow, we'll continue. You deserve to get $13,000 for the shirt. Well, we absolutely do. A lot of work went into that shirt that we put in for, minutes at a time. And believe you me, not only do we deserve the $13,000 for it, but someone should buy it. Especially rich people. We don't want anyone who can't afford it to buy it. Hell no. This shall never be behind a payroll or paywall. It'll probably never have a payroll either. Let's be honest. But that's not what we meant to say. We meant paywall. Whatever. You're going to throw the shit behind a paywall. No, we won't. We won't. No. That's what the shirt's for. We sell this so that we don't have to. And plan B backup. No one buys this shit. We need the view hours, and YouTube will start giving us some cheese. So, where's that cheese, Danny, we're going to give you? When you're going to work, when you're going to bed, you throw on one of our longer videos, you hit mute, you don't watch it, we get the view hours, YouTube gives us money. See, you don't have to give us anything. We sell the shirt for a quick 13 grand, bada bing, bada boom, we get to go out to eat once or twice, and YouTube gives us fractions of cents. Let's be honest, they're not going to want to. But between all of ones of you, you can make it happen by not giving us your money and forcing YouTube to give us theirs. Anyhow, don't worry about it. Shh, don't tell them. That's a secret. Let's get back to this ones of comment. Ha 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 ha. Well, not really much of a comment we can do much with there, but we can see you're laughing at us. And believe you me, it's not the first time people laughed at us. You might be saying, no, I'm laughing with you. But, a long time ago we figured out that, I don't know, that could be the case. All right then, well, let's go to the next comment. You're amazing. Never ever change. Well, unfortunately, Father Time has other decisions about that. We tried to stick it to him once or twice as a youth, and Father Time said, all right, I'll back off for a minute, but you're living a rugged, hard life. You better tone it down. We thought to ourselves, well, Father Time, okay. So that's what we did. We stopped working and said, that sounds boring. Then we're like, shit, guess we better go back to work. So Lo and behold, here we are. Turns out, though, I guess everyone tries to do this. And believe you me, they do it better. But, ground floor. Everything's supposed to be better. So, shoot for the dirt. Land on the feet. You can step on us going wherever you're going. Go to the next stream. That's fine. We'll boost you up there. The next stream was awesome. Hell yeah, the next stream was awesome. Because you suffered through some of this. So, you know. That's how it goes. Anyhow, let's see this other one's a comment. Never washing his hand again. Oh, well. That makes one of you. Believe you me, first thing we do when we end the stream is washing our hand with bleach. We're just kidding, Danny. We're just kidding. You don't want to use bleach to wash your hands. It's not good. What you want to use is a non-abrasive antibacterial soap. Unless you have to bleach your hand, Danny. And, you know, we know you're not here. Or you probably are because you're like, fuck it, I'm changing my plans. And, you know, we get it. You're like, I'm just going to kick it in the background. Sure, we get it. Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta give that extra cleaning. But, you know, you don't have to wash your hands, Danny. That's your business. It's gonna make that food it's gonna make that food you prepare for your birthday party dinners that much more interesting. Be like, oh, are you going to Danny's party? Yeah, she washed her hand yet? No, she still hasn't washed her hand yet. Like, oh. God, would you go to her party when she made that chili con queso? God, no, but I heard about it. They all heard about it, Danny. They all heard about it. Too entertaining for me to leave. Well, see, that's where you're wrong, Danny. It wasn't that it was too entertaining for you to leave. It's that, you know, being here makes everything else that much better. So it's like you leave with a sense of adulation, like, man, boy, did I not make the wrong decisions in life. And, you know, it usually is true. So, or it's like, man, do I know what decisions not to make going forward? And you know, that's what we're here for, Danny. We provide all of that philosophical insight into one's of lives from that boomer perspective that no one wants or cares about. And it's like, ask an old boomer. Believe it or not, Danny, we hold a college degree. Not a good one. We minored in philosophy. We can tell you all sorts of crap, Danny. None of it's good or, you know, anything like that, but that's what we're here for. You know? You might be saying, like, why'd you get a degree? It's like, good question, Danny. Why did we get a degree? Well, we were lied to, Danny. We were lied to. You know, you think that boomers screwed everything up all on their own? No. Well, okay, a lot of them probably did. And we fall in the weird category, Danny. We're like the youngest boomer. We're like the hip, cool boomer. You know, the one that you don't mind being around. That, you know, somehow learned how to internet. Okay, not well, but a little bit. And you're like, well, you know, there's worse boomers out there. And that's where we fall into the category of, well, the worst celebrity out there, internet celebrity, but, you know, one of the better boomers to, you know, be able to at least convey some sense of communication with. Because on occasion, when we do read the chats in the correct order, we can even read them correctly. Sometimes. So, you know, that's how it goes. Wear gloves so it's not gross. Well, Danny, I hope you wear gloves so it's not gross, but let's be honest, Danny. In essence, your sweat from your hand in the glove's going to be washing your hand. So, you're a liar, kind of, sort of. We're not saying you're a liar, really, okay? Don't take offense. But you lied to us, Danny. You said you weren't going to wash your hand. Now you're saying you're going to put a glove on it. So which is it, Danny? You're either not going to wash it or you're going to put a glove on it, which inherently will wash it because it's going to get so hot and sweaty, your hand in there, that it'll start sweating. And, you know, you're going to create your own, you know, sweat gland cleaning juice, which is sweat. All right, so it'd probably get washed, Danny, in sweat, which is, you know, Now you just got a sweaty, gross hand, Danny. You know? If you just come back, we'll let you touch our hand at the end of the streams, and you just wash them on a regular basis. But believe you me, Danny, our hand's probably the last one you want to touch. So, you need to form a new habit, Danny. Let's be honest. Let's come up with something else, another quirk, another, like when you're quitting smoking, okay? We know we're very touchable, okay? But we're a married man, Danny. We can't have you touching us all the time, okay? Eventually, the wife would probably find out. And believe you me, she probably wouldn't. Yeah, it'd be a problem, Danny, if we're being honest. So, let's come up with something else. Like when you're quitting smoking, right? And people are like, I chew on a carrot stick, okay? Well, fuck that, Danny. No one wants to prep a bunch of carrot sticks to chew just so you don't touch us. But, tell you what, Danny, I'm sure somewhere we'd be able to, maybe do you have any squishmallows or stuffed animals? Sometimes it's just nice to, touch something soft. Like, for us, okay, now, everyone's going to be a little different, Danny. But for us, when we're like, oh, we really want to touch, something to make us feel like we touched a celebrity, okay, even a bad one, we go straight for our most favorite zombie doll ever, okay? And we just give him a little pet on his head, okay? Sometimes we make a wish. I wish zombies didn't come and attack humanity. Yes. Safe for another night. You're welcome, Internet and world. If you like Internet, no zombie apocalypse. You're lucky we make these wishes. But, point is, Danny, you just gotta come up with something else. And believe you me, I think you have the capacity and power within you to listen to me telling you that. And you probably have the power within yourself to even find what item that should be that you touch. Like I said, maybe it's, a keychain. Maybe it's a musical instrument, okay, that you enjoy playing. I don't know if you're musically inclined, Danny. We didn't hear you sing to Lily on her birthday, and we kind of had the sentiment and feeling that you were kind of like that girl from the movie Elf who doesn't really like to sing in front of people. And, they say the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. But what we didn't hear you singing loud, Danny, at was Lily's birthday party. And like you said, we don't want to call you out for it, but that's probably why Lily left. And the cake was perfect. We just wanted you to think maybe it's because it was the, green mint flavor. And it wasn't because we didn't have the blue spray paint. But we knew Lily was upset because you weren't singing loud enough, Danny. You weren't singing loud enough. That's okay. She was boring anyway. She left. So, we're just kidding, Lily. If you come back and watch this. No, we're not, Danny, right? I mean, yes, we are, Lily. Of course we are. You're on the board still, see? Don't tell the morning crew. They're going to be pissed. But, anyhow, let's see the ones of other chat. You're like a Gen X. Which generation's that? Is that the pissed off ones that hate people? I don't know. We could be. We fall in a weird category. So, early like 80s. Like, we grew up in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. It's like we're constantly growing up. We ended up hanging out and doing and watching things with folks 2 to 5 years older than us. So we were always like the little kid brother of the older boomer. You got, the Gen X to millennial and stuff aspect to where we were close enough in age to understand a lot of the aspects and parameters of it. But as society, technology, life goes on, obviously, our tears graduated. And other people who knew us, tears flew down their cheeks. Like, Oh, worst interaction I ever had. Yeah. You know, they can't all be good. We didn't realize that. That's why we call dibs on the ground floor level. Anyhow, let's see this other ones of chat. Strawberry mint. Yes, strawberry mint. Do I have to make the noise in Mythbusters? Well, whatever the noise is, possibly. No, a millennial. No, jeez. Gen X in the 80s. Yeah, so that's what we're saying. We fall in a weird category. See, technically we would be Gen X for growing up in the 80s, but see, we're talking 1980 and then add like 2 to 5 years other direction. So, yeah, late 70s and stuff of folks that we were kicking it around with. So we fall in this weird kind of category of being in between a couple variety of generations. So we just identify as a boomer, and, you know, that's just how it goes, because we don't technology and stuff, so we hear that's what made us a boomer, and that's what we are. I guess. I don't know. We don't keep up with that, and we never liked the term millennial either. And believe you me, people tried to lump us in that category a variety of times. And we've known some millennials, Danny. Believe you me. Some of them are okay, you know. And I guess, geez, most of them are better than even the next generation. Oh my gosh, right? Is there a next generation yet? I don't know. If there's not, there needs to be. And if there's something we tried to avoid, it was being intermixed and intertwined with a variety of individuals around some of the aspects of generational hangouts that we did. There were some groups of folks we enjoyed hanging out with more than others. Unlike this, we only like really hanging out with, you guys here, Danny. You know, just that. Just you guys here. Times have changed. You know, after Corona Mona, after all the craziness that is, life, you just think to yourself, life. And then it's like, almost like nothing at all. So there you go. Excellent. That makes no sense. Good. Let's go to the next comment. Oh, we already read that one. You can identify as whatever you want. I'll support you. Excellent. Well, we'll just call it boomer-esque. And believe you me, if that's not something, then it probably needs to be. Because, if there's one thing that we aren't, it's Generation Y. Is there a Generation Y? What's the new ones? I don't know. See, we don't really keep up with that stuff because if we're being honest, we never liked the terminology to begin with. Okay? Generation X, millennials, it's always seems like another way to keep calling. Oh, Gen Z, yeah. Which one's that? Is that the new ones? Are they after millennials? If there's, and the newest one is Gen Alpha. Holy shit. So, it's like every generation there's a new generation. And if there's one thing that we think there needs to be less of, it's names to call generations. Okay? All it does, and this is the point we're getting to, Danny, all it does is find a way to continually call kids kids. We never let them grow up, Danny, because we keep calling them generation random shit younger than us. You look at what then? Gen X? They're the seniority dudes on the block now, right? Them, and then what? Boomers above them? So you got, the seniority is Gen X, and if I fall into that one, we ain't gonna do shit. Oh, unless we have to. We'll handle some shit. But, that's probably a horrible role model to have. And, boomers, which apparently that's where we are, because believe you me, Danny, we've been called boomer more than once. So we just figured that's what we were. I mean, we don't know. We don't keep up with the stuff. We're learning Gen Alpha and everything for the first time. And, you know, there's one thing, Danny, we didn't think we'd take away tonight. It was an additional education lesson, and you giving it to us. So thanks, Danny. Thanks for, making us feel like a dumbass for having wasted our time in college back in, the 2000s. No, we're still in the 2000s. Well, whatever. Like the 2000, like 200,000s, right? Like, we're not in those anymore. It's like, like 20, but there's only one. That's beside the point, Danny. We should have waited to go to college until now. That way we keep up with all the good terms. And you wouldn't have to give us this free education. See, Danny, that's where you missed out. You're giving us this education for free, and you couldn't charge us for it. And we're boomer enough to where we probably would have paid for it. But we already got the information now, sucker, so guess you'll know to withhold the information next time a little better. That's okay, Danny. We knew you wanted to share, to reciprocate for that awesome song we wrote for you, months ago that we finally had the courage to perform for you tonight. And the stars aligned. It all worked out. Let's see the ones of chat. Student becomes a teacher. Yes, Danny, exactly what we said before you even said it. So we're back to being the teacher again. But even though you said it a long time ago in the chat and it took us a long time to read it, that just goes to show you that you're back to being the student, because teachers take forever to catch the fuck up. So, that's not your fault, Danny. That's not your fault at all. The students are supposed to outdo the teachers, and in this case, believe you me, you've outdone us this entire episode. But if there's one thing that we do know, it's that when a teacher gets seniority, when a teacher gets tenure, you ain't firing that motherfucker. So we're here. That's just how it goes. Anyhow, let's finish this not urine. Excellent. We're good for ones of more minutes of entertainment. Use loosely. Actually, we're in the 20s. What? We're in the 20s? What? Oh, wait. Yeah, like 2020s. Yes. Excellent. Good job, Danny. That's why we have student assistants like yourselves to not only guide the stream, but to keep it on course appropriately. And, Danny, if we didn't hire you to do that and not pay you to do it, then stream wouldn't be what it is without you. The point is that, yeah, I think you're right. We are in the 2020s, because it's like 2025, and that falls in the 2020s. So, fantastic. It's good that you're keeping up with these things, Danny, because we don't have the time in our professional celebrityness to, really do things like keep up with dates and times and events. Things like birthdays, which, don't get me wrong, Danny, we'll celebrate yours late any time of the year, especially when we miss your original day. But when you're our student assistant like you have been, and believe you me, you lead the class more than once, so we don't want to say student assistant, but that's a job title, Danny. It's what it's called. When you're up there, you're leading the class and everything like that. It's your abilities to bring those facts and everything like that. That's why we keep you around, or you keep yourself around. I don't know. You do that to yourself, Danny. You could have put in your notice a long time ago and, jump ship, like Lily did. Did we ever tell you about L Money? I think you had a birthday with her once, earlier on a stream, and she dipped, right? We never saw her again. But if there's one thing I remember about L Money, it's that she would get upset when people wouldn't sing to her on her birthday. And she was around for a long time until we sang happy birthday, and for being honest, Danny, she was in direct competition with you for that, student assistant teacher position, and we can't help but believe that maybe some animosity was, in your guys' competitive nature with each other. Okay, we get it. She got her whole name written on the board. Your username's like 18 characters long and no one can pronounce it, so you got DX. We get it, Danny. But you can't fault us on your username. And there's no way in hell we could spray paint all that shit up there in reverses and mess up. Oh, wait, no, we would mess up. Or, well, okay, there is a way we could do it, Danny, but, you know, we'd get our shirt at that point. That's a lot of characters. So, I hope you didn't chase Lily off because you're afraid she was competition for you. Because obviously, you know, Danny, when it comes down to it, we're gonna pick you for the job anyway. Now, don't tell Lily that. Okay? I know you guys still talk to each other sometimes in other, you know, streams and chat boxes, things of that nature. Maybe unbeknownst, but you know, you keep that to yourself, Danny. Don't let her know, because she's the type of person who will celebrate her birthday and leave. Then you'll be left wondering, well, why did she get her name written first under the cake? You know, and why'd she get 3 candles and I only got 1? You know, we can sit here and play favorites all day, all night, Danny, but what we can't do is do that and check in on the ones of chat we missed, so we got to do that now. No, I want the shirt as my compensation. Well, Danny, shit. You know, we all want the shirt as our compensation. That's why we're trying to sell it here. So to make you a deal, Danny, the channel takes off. No one buys the shirt, and we get going the shirt shares, Danny. I'm gonna be honest for you. You stay in touch. You pop in every now and again, and if the channel succeeds in getting YouTube's money, shirt shares, Danny, we'll take it down. And then we'll make another one and sell it for $13,000. But you'll get that one, Danny. And believe you me, that one originally cost 1. But it's what you do to the shirt that makes it valuable, Danny. And believe you me, warnings about how atrocious Joey is invaluable. We're only asking 13 grand. You know? So that's just how it goes. Anyhow, let's check the other ones of chat. Oh! Rick, the door technician. Rick, you're going to be pissed, Rick. Oh, Rick's from day shift now. Danny, Rick's here. You know, Rick, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not Danny's fault. It's Lily's fault. You see this shit, Rick? Okay, we got a door guy. Okay, well, what? So Rick does doors for us, okay? Usually kicks it in the daytime. Chatty Coffee Crew, right? Well, Rick, it was Lily's birthday, and she's like, I don't want Rick's name on that wall anymore. Cover that shit up. You'll have to go back and watch the stream, Rick. I told him you'd be pissed. But you know what, Rick? They were pulling the door down on top of us, Rick. The door was on top of us, Rick. We couldn't do anything about it. Okay? We took every avenue that we possibly could, Rick. We tried to entertain them with any other iota of stuff that we had. You can ask Danny. We had the cheese block. We pulled out the big, stinky cheese, okay? Now, it only stinks like rubber. It's fake, but we pulled it out. You know, Rick, we told him you'd be pissed. And believe you me, you have every right to be. Because Lily and Danny decided to have birthdays. And they decided to interrupt the stream too, Rick. Surely you came here thinking we were talking about crazy food combinations. Well, we're not, Rick. We've been celebrating and having a birthday for a while. Then to top it off, after Lily made us take your name off the wall, and JC and Ryan's gone under the cake. Can't even eat it. It's on drywall. You know, they took, you know, the time there Lily did to then just leave, up and leave. She said, take Rick's name off now. It's my birthday. We're like, happy birthday. Then, we had songs and everything. So, Rick, we know you're back. And, Rick, we also know that we missed your birthday at one point in time, too. So, Danny, you're going to have to share this cake with Rick now, unfortunately, because they're back. Rick says I kick it in the day and at night sometimes. And then they're like, stop streaming. We're like, oh, we can't help it. Trying to get YouTube's money here. All right, well, let's see. Rick, you're going to have to eat a big piece of this cake, all right? But believe you me, it's probably good. It's not, Rick. It's strawberry mint. Danny requested it. Lily wanted blueberry, but Danny was like, no, fuck that. I want mint strawberry. But Rick, you're back up there, Rick. And it's a good thing, too, because the cake was green. So, there you go. But, excellent. Let's check this ones of chat that came in. Sounded just like that. Doop, 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 doo. Alright, I missed a couple chats. It's going to take me a sec. Talk amongst yourself, but not in the chat box. Hold on. Emoji face. Emojis. Hurry up and read, asshole. I'm trying to find a place. Jeez Louise. Real questions. What's on the front of the shirt? Well, same thing on the front of this shirt, actually. Don't gulp. It's reversies because it's obviously reversies. Don't gulp. I don't gulp. A Joey's milk. And it should be, if you can see it, a Joey's milk. But you don't gulp a Joey's milk. Ugh, disgusting. That's what's on the front of the shirt. Oh, shit. Now it's reversed, Danny. Damn it. Now we're going to sell it for $13,000 if they can't see Joey's milk on the back. That's the warning and advertisement. Look out, Bob. Bob helps out in the studio. High five, Bob. Excellent. All right, let's see. We got ones of chats here that we're falling behind. Apologies. We're not used to all of this ones of chat coming in. That's exactly what happened. I was here. Yes, see, Danny's got our back because Lily made us take your name off, Rick, and it's all her. No, yes, Rick, rightfully so. I'd be pissed too. And believe you me, it's Lily's fault, not Danny's. There, see? Danny, I told you he wouldn't find out. It was totally you. Yeah, I mean, we're just kidding. Just kidding, Rick. It was totally Lily. Sounded just like that, too. Yes, absolutely. Some drywall imported in the early 2000s can emit sulfurous gases resulting in damage to copper wiring and pipes, as well as some human health effects when wet. Drywall can be affected by mold. Holy shit! Rick! That is fantastic stuff that you give. We're going to read that louder one more time because that is actually very important. And thanks for the warning, Rick. That is extremely good to know. Excellent. Listen up, everybody, all ones of you. Some drywall, gypsum board, imported in the early 2000s can emit sulfurous gases resulting in damage to copper wiring and pipes, as well as some human health effects. And when wet, drywall can be affected by mold. So, we can't confirm all of that information, but we do trust Rick, and you'll have to verify it for yourselves because we aren't one of those fancy shows that has a Joe of the Rogan fact of the checker or a Tim of the Pool fact of the checker. Turns out they just have fact of the checkers. You know, they hire people for that. Danny, that was going to be your job. If we're going to be honest, I know you and Lily were competing, but Lily left out. And I know you chased her off with your poor singing, but, you know, for some reason we don't think you sing that bad, Danny. And we haven't heard it, but we're guessing that Lily had no right to say all those mean things about you. But don't worry about it. Anyhow, I'm angry. I'm going to give you a random fact about the human body. Well, fact it up, Rick. Fact it up. You know, we want as many facts as we can get, though we can't confirm any of them to be true. We do got to be honest with you, though, Rick. we've been going for a minute, and we are a little low on some of our power sources here, okay? So, we'll do our best to keep up. But, apologies in advance, Rick. Danny made us sing to her a happy birthday song. We had written it, well, long before. I mean, you know us with our poetry, Rick. You were here for poetry night, right? Rick usually requests banana poems. And, believe you me, we deliver. Time and time again, because we pre-wrote a lot of poems that we know. And we'll do another poetry night, but that's what, another night holds in store. That wasn't the plan for tonight. Until we remembered we were missing birthdays, and it was the birthday episode. We were talking about crazy food combinations. But let's see if this random fact about the human body came in. What? No, wasn't me. Up to around 15% of total blood volume, which means most adults can donate a pint of blood, or about 500 milliliters, with ease. Well, fantastic. Donating blood is a very important endeavor to undertake, and a lot of people are very thankful for everyone who undertakes it. So it's very commendable and very appreciated. So, you thank your blood donors out there, everyone. Excellent. Well, thanks, Rick. That's, the sheer quantity and amount at some point, is relevant, but when it comes down to the greater good, to, being there for the rest of humanity, it's just good to know that, a good thing has happened. Fantastic. Excellent. It's not really a fact, but it's something. You know what, Rick? It's fact enough. We don't have fact checkers here, Rick. You know that. We were hoping Danny was going to be one day, but, sometimes we can't trust her running around when she's competing with some other people. I mean, we do, because she chases off the competition, but there's aspects and there's elements of, we want to say, donations and facts and things like that really just are interesting things to know in general. And, Danny was supposed to be the guard of all of it, but obviously you're the real doorkeeper, Rick, because you do the door technician thing. So, Danny has to do her regular job we're going to hire her for, which is fact checker then, I guess. But, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Now she's wanting to get compensated with the only expensive item here. You know what we're talking about, Rick. It's 13 grand. But, that's for another time. We'll address all the details later. Let's see what this other one's a comment is. Give us a fact about the all-terrain Scout Walker. Well, sounds good to me, Rick. Lay it on us. The all-terrain Scout Transport ATST is a two-legged mech walker introduced briefly in the Battle of Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back and featured extensively in the Battle of Endor. Well, you know what? Do you know what? They were also in a variety of video games as well, usually in a mini-boss and or in some games an epic boss battle. And, if we're being honest, Rick, a lot of those battles are pretty rad. Some of them are frustrating, depending on the game, but talk about a good fight, good battle, some good games to be had there. Nothing to say about this one, huh, Danny? This one's peach. Okay? Keep your comments to yourself. But Rick's here, so it's time for round 2. Or 3, if we're counting Lily. But, to be honest, Danny, we stopped counting Lily since she walked out on us all those stream ago. Hasn't been the same since. It's like we celebrated her birthday, earlier tonight. And She hijacked your own birthday, Danny. Granted, it was shared birthday, but, we can't apologize to you enough, Danny. Really sucks that she did that. Let's see what Rick has in store for us. We read that part in Return of the Jedi. These vehicles, okay, the AT-ST, were designed to screen and protect the flanks of slower-moving AT-ATs and the larger tanks used by the Empire. So, what Rick's saying is that these were a little more mobile, a little more maneuverable, okay? And you would have these checking the flanks to make sure no rogue Jedi agents coming around the backside, no rebel scum coming around your flanks, okay? We've all played Battlefront 2, right? No. Okay, well, some people have. And there's one thing you don't want. It's someone coming down that trench line from the flank. So you shouldn't let them. So that's good that they had some iota of protection they were seeking. Excellent. Due to their design and movement, they are often dubbed the Chicken Walker. The name Scout Walker is also used to refer to an AT-ST, name used for the official toy instead of the AT-ST. Well, I'm sure we botched all sorts of reading that comment, Rick, but, Lily and Danny have had us around paint fumes for a while now, and whilst we have some fairly decent ventilation, Rick, we've eaten almost this whole cake back here, if we're being honest, so we're doing our best here. Let's keep up with more ones of these. An AT-ST also appears briefly in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, patrolling Jeddah City following an attack by Saw Gerrera's forces. A modified AT-ST later appears in The Mandalorian under possession. Well, Rick, if we're being honest, you're really making us want to go back and rewatch Rogue One again, man. We're not even joking. That was like we had said the other night, that was a good flick. We dug it. Like we really did. Inherently, a complete story. No cliffhangers, no ending. It told a story about event, about an item, okay, the plans of the Star of Death. Spoiler. It was a complete title. We loved it. You're making us want to watch it more and more, especially after talking about it. We're through another rewatch. Well, we're not through it yet. We're going through another rewatch of Deadpool Wolverine right now. So, the movie was pretty damn good. And, it was pretty good. Anyhow, let's check this other one's a coming. Oh, man. Oh, we're running out of power. That's okay. We'll go till we go. Let's see. Alright, so is under the possession of the Mandalorian, or in the Mandalorian under the possession of a group of raiders, as the Empire has ceased to exist by the time of the series. An updated model of the AT-ST is used by the First Order in The Last Jedi. Shortly before the film's climax, an AT-ST is commandeered by BB-8. Well, if anyone was wondering what cute little BB-8 did, hijacked a vehicle. Sounds like Grand Theft Auto in Star Wars form. And BB-8 pulled it off. Continue, Rick. We'll continue in the words of, let's see. Video games such as Star Wars, Rogue Squadron, and Shadows of the Empire, and much expanded Battle of Hoth include numerous AT-STs, and these can be destroyed by direct shooting from the player's craft, in contrast to the heavily armored AT-ATs, which have to be tripped by tow cables. AT-STs are also player-controllable units in several real-time strategy games. Also need to finish the story on the Black Wing virus. Well, Rick, we're going to be honest with you. I don't know if you're going to be able to finish the whole story on the black wing virus, and I am glad that we got through that. But like I said, we're extremely low on power here, so man, I hate that you got here so late, Rick, but we're going to have to be calling it here real soon because it's going to be a random feed. So you're back on the board, and that's fantastic, and we hate to cut it on anything, but we always want to give everyone the opportunity to get out of here before us. So head out now, depart. We're going to be leaving very, very soon. Like, very soon, because we're at, Rick, if we're being honest, the studio's under construction, and we're running now 2% battery here. So, we're going to call it there. That's it. Rick, we hope to hear the Black Week virus, all that, man. We're going to have to go there. So go on, get out of here. There's better streams out there, we promise. They might not be out there right now, but they are. In the meantime, hold on, and we wish you all the best. We're at 1%. Go on, get out of here, you crazy kids. Get some sleep. Have a good night. We don't need your subscription. We want your money, so downvote the shit out of us and give us $1. Now, quit leaving all these footprints on our grass. Get off our lawn.